All right, next up we've got Leo. Uh, Leo says skull pass on my church facade. All right. Environment artist. Let's get it on this. Let's get it on that. So we'll start at the beginning because this is a portfolio review. This is definitely some of your older stuff. That's a year ago. If we just kind of jump through these really quick, this is 6 months ago, 6 months ago, 3 months, and 3 months. So you can see there's a bit of a visual progression in quality and execution. So right off the bat, I would suggest removing this just because it's not helping the other pieces. It's not adding to your portfolio as a whole. And really, I think when it comes down to it, I don't think it's needed. Everything else is showing off your work pretty well. There's a little bit of text detail down there on the bottom of that image that is probably too small to be seen. You could keep that there if you want. It's up to you. Let's go ahead and check out these details. So these are the high poly and in-engine low poly breakdowns. Man, these look like a lot of work. In general, it looks like it was done pretty well, though. These are pretty impressive. Is that one of the Lannisters? I feel like that's a Lannister. So you're a technical artist as well? Interesting. So this is the bakes, okay. Texture, yeah. Sorry, I'm just scrolling like crazy. So I'm looking at like all the pieces. I'm trying to see. So all these pieces are constructed, right? I guess in this one, they're placed. So right off the bat, I would combine these two. You could either use this image or maybe like frame up another shot. Man, that's pretty cool. I think there's areas where it's getting really dark and I'm not sure why it's so dark. Like there should be either some ambient light filling the shadows, or you should have some GI in your bake that should be filling those up. Oh, this is just in Maya, I guess? Wait. Yeah, getting this into a game engine will probably push the visual fidelity quite a bit further, considering everything is being baked down. Pretty impressive piece, though. There's a lot of work that has to go into something like this. Yeah, I would just be careful of those really dark areas and figuring out how to make them look more full of detail, if that makes sense. So just being dark like that makes them kind of void of the detail. And dark kind of looks digital. Man, these almost look like photo scans. That's kind of crazy. This shot is also really impressive. Man, are each one of those heads unique as well? That's interesting. I'm noticing there's different kind of patterns going on in the material. In general, it's pretty nice, man. Well done. If we keep going forward, so this looks like it is the sculpt, and then maybe the low poly. It's hard to tell where the low poly is. That looks pretty sick, though. So, okay, so I'm seeing a pattern with your portfolio where you're separating out the asset creation from the actual scene. Oh, yeah, this is nice. There's a lot of, like, damage detail going on that's being baked out. So with baking out stuff like this, let's see if there's how much more we got here. With stuff like this, I would usually suggest baking out the normal map to a 0 to 1, but then the rest of the material is most likely tileable just to maintain fidelity and detail. This is pretty cool though. That one's really intriguing to me. So substance designer in here as well. I'm not sure where. Maybe it's this or this. And I'm not sure what these are. So it would be really nice if like you could say like oh, this is mud, or this is a rock type, or this is like the ground material. Especially if it's out of context compared to this scene, right? Because it's all part of this scene. But I don't know where that's coming in or like how it's being applied. Man, this looks pretty cool. The light source not being explained bothers me, but that might just be me. I don't know. I would just suggest like placing like a really large candle or a bunch of candles in there to kind of like overall fill the light source to explain it. This looks pretty cool though. I feel like this needs to be something needs to be going on back there, even if it's just like clouds. Man, can you imagine, like, see this, the lighting that's hitting here is really bright. I'm not sure where that's coming from. It would be really cool to see this shot just here, and it's windy, and you got like a few branches that are smaller that you can see like bending to the wind. And then every once in a while, the crack of lightning that brings you these like huge highlights. Be super cool. Let me see if I can pull up Photoshop here and do a quick little mock-up of like what I mean. Ah. Oh yeah, there are clouds back there. You see that? Interesting. Just lower the saturation a little bit. So it should be just being blown out by bright lightning, actually. Just kill that down like this. Trying to get highlights out of nothing. You see their range is really narrow too. Man, probably even want to kill for this demo anyways. Oh, not a clipping mask. Let's create a mask here. We'll invert it. This is not gonna work for me. Nope, I can't do it without separating out the background. That was a failed attempt at faking lightning. But this shot is pretty strong. I think maybe it's a little too much side view of the face. If it was more like off to the side, so you could see a little bit more of the other eye, and then explaining the candles, it'd be cool to see maybe like some other candles that are out in the leading up the steps, just so that you have a sense of like the path and whatnot. Maybe if there's things hanging off of here. Oh man, that'd be cool. Just, you had the little string or the little ropes with like the little skull swinging in the wind. Maybe those little skulls have like little lights on them. Cause you could hang all types of, oh man, that'd be super cool. Anywho, this is a cool scene. I like it. Let's get back to the portfolio. Overall, your portfolio is looking pretty strong. I would remove this, and I would make another piece that's similar in strength to this one. Oh, see, this shot's really cool too. Solid stuff. Really interesting looking. Anywho, all right, cool. Nice stuff, man. Yeah, I look forward to another scene. And hopefully this was helpful for you. I would combine these. Or maybe like in this shot, maybe make like a skull pass. And then you could, I guess you could remove the title here. So that when you just mouse over it, you get just your name. And text here, you could be like skull pass. And then skull pass assets. Or props. Then you could keep them separate like that, because if it's a pattern like this, then that's you could get away with that. All right, cool. That's good. Nice work, man. Thanks for submitting your portfolio, and hopefully this was helpful. And it's not starting soon. I'm sorry. Goodbye.